Today we're reading, I am not responsible for you falling in the mall parking lot. Geek gets confused with worker at PC store. Chill dude just needed some help. Lady with a smooth recovery. That's not what I asked. And some old guy tries to fight my brothers. Let's try to reach 300 likes for this video and make sure you subscribe to enjoy the craziest and the funniest retail stories. For more I Don't Work Here Lady videos, check out the playlist in the description. Congratulations Alicia for the comment of the day, and now is the time to fight Karen. Let's do this. I am not responsible for you falling in the mall parking lot. Not entirely sure if this belongs in this sub, but this is the closest sub I can think of. Also apologies for using mobile. This happened about 3 years ago when I used to work at a big name department store in a somewhat large mall. It was winter and a particularly bad ice storm had left a good thick sheet of ice on just about every surface. It was terrible driving conditions and I was surprised we were even open that day. Anyways, my manager noticed that mall security, that normally salts the roads, had not gotten to it yet. He decided he did not want our customers hurt, so he had me grab some salt we had in the back and salt our entrance. We are by no means obligated or responsible for these entrances because they are owned by the mall management company that we lease our space from. In other words, my manager's decision to salt our entrance was complete charity that he was not responsible for. Anyways, I am outside, salting the pathways when I see a family of 4 going to the neighboring store's entrance some distance away from me. A boy of probably about 12 slips on the ice and falls, but he seemed totally fine and not even bothered by what happened. But apparently seeing his son fall, the father looked for the first person to complain to. And sadly, I was the poor guy he saw standing outside. Now it is important to note, not only did the kid fall in the parking lot, but it was also the path in front of a totally different store. So this man comes up to me and says I'm responsible for not doing my job and that his child is hurt, etc. I calmly explained that I am just a salesman in this store and that this is not my job, nor is the parking lot in front of neighbor's store or lot. I was dressed entirely in my store's uniform, so there was no confusion that I was not from the other store nor mall security. I even agreed how these conditions are not right and suggested a complaint to security would probably work. But no, this man wanted our store to be responsible. My manager was outside with me and came to intervene and stand up for me. My manager explains the same thing to the man and goes further to say that if he really wants a store to be responsible, then try complaining to the management of the store his kid fell in front of. The man just became even more angry. It was at this point you can see his whole family getting uncomfortable and embarrassed. The son even tried to tell his dad, I am fine dad, I did not even get hurt, can we just go? But the man was on a mission and now wanted my manager to be responsible for everything. I did not stay around for the whole thing, but apparently the guy said he would sue our store and that our store was responsible. Realizing he could not get much from us, he demanded we call an ambulance for his son and said we will end up paying for it. We did not end up paying for it. I know for a fact the kid was not hurt and even said he wasn't hurt, but their father wanted some sort of retribution. Later I had to give my statement for liability reasons, all because a guy's son slipped on ice in front of a different store. Geek gets confused with worker at PC store. Many years ago, I stopped on my way home from work to the local high street PC store. In the UK, there is only one nationwide, one still around. It was that one. I was in the networking section looking at the newly released Powerline network kits, which gives you an idea of the period we are talking about. I was still in my work clothes, normal office attire, black trousers and a regular shirt. As I was looking, I heard a gentle voice from behind me. Excuse me, do you work here? I turned around to see a gentleman in his 50s or 60s, so I replied, I'm really sorry, I don't. He looked crestfallen and said, oh sorry, we've been waiting 40 minutes for someone to help us. He then turned and walked back to his wife a few feet away, who also looked disappointed. If you ask at customer services at the front, I am sure they'd be able to call someone to come help, I suggested. They have already called over the tannoy 4 times. We're still waiting, he replied. Thinking about it, I had heard a tannoy call when I entered the store. He did not bother or pester me at all, just turned back to his wife and sighed. I was not angry at all, just really resigned to his fate. I immediately felt very bad for the couple. What is it you are after? I am not an expert, but I know a bit and might be able to help, I offered. He then explained they had bought a new laptop to replace an ancient PC, but after getting it home, had now been told they will need a device so they could use their internet without having to take the laptop to the desk upstairs and plug it into the cable. Note, this was well before ISPs gave Wi-Fi routers, and every company just gave you a basic router with, if you were lucky, 410/100 Mbps ports. He pointed to a top-end, brand new wireless end router costing over £300 and asked if this was what he needed. We spent the next 20 minutes talking through who his internet was with, what equipment they'd provided, what computers he currently had, and pretty much working out his requirements. I explained my thinking and reasoning at each stage, the advantages and disadvantages of each product, and whether they would be useful to him or not. For example, his laptop only had wireless G and he had no other wireless devices, so N would have been a waste. At the end of the 20 minutes, he had selected a good quality brand wireless G router that was going to set him back around £80. And I would explain that the steps he need to go through to get the setup wizard on the included CD to run. My router was the same make. They happily headed off to the checkout after they both thanked me profusely for my time and for helping them. I told them repeatedly they were more than welcome. And the whole time I was with them, no staff members approached us, replied to the tannoy call, or even appeared within sight, let alone came to see if they needed any help. That really annoyed me at the time, as if I had not been there. How long were the poor couple going to have to wait? Chill Dude just needed some help. Cast, me is me, CD for the Chill Dude. So back in December 2018, I was shopping at a local grocery store with my mom, and one thing about me is that I am tall, enough said. So as soon as we were already paying for the food, some random guy comes up to me, and this is how the conversation begins. Hi, do you think you can help me find something? I haven't seen the product I'm looking for and I was wondering if you could help me. Sure thing, but I'm not really a worker though. I'm here with my mom paying for our food, but what do you need? Oh, I'm so sorry, but either way, I'm looking for this specific product and I cannot seem to find it. This was true because the stalkers seemed to place things at weird places. Yeah, I know where this specific product is. Here, follow me. Alright. So then I lead him to where the product is located at a shelf he could not reach at all or see as well. Oh, thank you man, I appreciate it. No problem. Sorry for taking your time. I was confused on where it was located at. No worries, I'll help you because you politely asked me about it. If you were rude about it, then I will not even care it if you ask me again nicely. Okay, either way, thank you for the help again. And I went back to the register area to help my mom finish bagging all the food we brought. This story might be boring because there were no Karens freaking out or anything like on the other stories here. Lady with a smooth recovery. I am very frequently mistaken for an employee at many places I go. I always wear dark clothing, blacks and grays, and though in my teens I had a mild punk aesthetic. In my 20s, those blacks and grays transferred to my polo shirts and slacks. In the past few years, I figured that I must just come close to the employee dress codes of many stores, but this one lady cleared it up for me a few months ago. I was with my family at a popular, trendy national grocery store chain in the US. We are gearing up for a vacation weekend in an Airbnb in Appalachia and getting last-minute supplies. For that reason, we are a disorganized mess and cutting out across aisles. Do we want these frozen pizzas? Camembert or brie? Neither? Don't get flowers, we're going to be there for 2 days, etc. Not disturbingly loud, but definitely a couple notches above the usual speaking volume of most customers. After carrying a few items across the floor of the store and admittedly putting them into the cart that my mother is pushing alone, a nearby lady in her 40s or 50s holding a newspaper in one of her hands, presumably for coupons or to see which items are on sale, points at a stack of boxes on a display table and asks if I could help her get one down. I figure it's happening again and she thinks I work there, but since it is no skin off my back, I reach up and bring down the particular box she wanted from the top. She is very gracious and thanks me for helping her immediately, then asking me if the store carries some specific sort of type of yogurt. I have to say, the diary is over there, but I don't know if the store carries that. I actually don't work here. She gives a good-natured laugh at herself and says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I did not realize. You just have such an authoritative presence." My voice is super deep. I am no Travis Whittingham or Michael Dorn, but my friends who actually sing describe me as having a natural chest voice, and that I am always unconsciously projecting my voice. In college, they would often tell me that they knew when I was approaching because they could hear me talking and laughing from a building away. I guess the reason people always think I am employed wherever I am is because I just sound like I'm apparently an authority figure, which in turn is because my voice is a booming baritone. That is not what I asked. Short story from my time in retail, one where I actually got to say the magic words, "I don't work here." Scene: a W.H. Smith. I'm on a break, grabbing something to eat and drink. I'm walking between aisles and someone flags me down. Literally, she was trying to land an aircraft for some help. Before I can utter more than a confused hello, she asked, "Where are your notepads?" I looked at her and said, "I don't work here." Nice and simply, before turning my head back to my store. "That's not what I asked," she replied, louder. I paused and gave her a puzzled look and continued to walk off, because what else was I going to do? I was wearing a blue shirt with stripes and dark jeans. In my opinion, it was an extremely stylish outfit because that's how I roll, even way back then. But like a massively huge butt, it may have been ever so slightly similar to the W.H. Smith uniform of a blue shirt and dark trousers. So I guess I cannot really blame this woman for confusing me with staff, or maybe just asking some random person for help. There's no real point to the story. No one was a massive prick and no one got hurt or reported to any sort of authority. These memories just crossed my mind from time to time and I thought I'd contribute to the ever-growing stock of them on Reddit. Some old guys tries to find my brothers. Background: my twin brother and my mom went out with my older brother to get stuff for my older bro's house. My mom sees some patio chairs and takes the tag so they didn't have to lug them around the store. Characters: DB for the twin bro, OB for the older bro, and the mom, obviously my mother, OD for the old drunk idiot. Those are the twin bro words, accosting my family. Anyway, as they were paying, he makes a joke about how my mom was stealing it and the cashier was having fun and joined in with the joking. When the old dude, who aggravated at something, twin bro said, "That's very rude. You're here to save people, not to be served. He's very rude to customers." At first, they all thought he was talking to the cashier. Nope, he was apparently talking to the twin bro. My family just ignored him. After they paid, the old dude tried to fight the twin brother and the older brother and said, "I am 80 years old and I'll kick you." The older brother told him off as her mom said she'll call the police. The older dude then left the store. The cashier said, "Some old people can hold their liquor." And older bro said, "No, I think he did," and then he dropped it. Before you leave, please check our awesome I Don't Work Here Lady playlist. I am sure you will love it. Remember to help us reach 300 likes for this video, subscribe to the channel for more awesome Reddit stories, and hit the bell button to know exactly when we post a new video and join the notification gang. Thank you again for watching episode 43 of I Don't Work Your Lady. See ya!